Alright, we should be live. Why is... Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Never mind. Thought I messed something up there, but it looks like everything's good. Let's just pull up the stream and verify that's going. Just press X on that. Music's quite good for the start of this. Yep. Sounds coming through. Excellent. Just a couple little things to do. That's going. Okay. Chat's pulled up. Let's start up Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. I know that some people have issues with Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered versus the original, and I completely am fine with there being some issues with this version compared to the original. It just happens to be the one that I'm playing, so that's what we're working with here. Pretty excited. This game's, I mean, some things are kind of similar to the previous game, but it is quite a step up in other ways. It's quite cool. Alright, so we are going to play the full base game, then we'll do the DLC, Tyranny of King Washington. So, and then after that, obviously, we have Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation. Yeah. Just put end as my...
Used to be when people talked about the end of the world, we locked them up, or laughed them off. Sometimes both. But we never took them seriously. Maybe we should have. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Better to start at the beginning, with the abduction of Desmond Miles, my son. This boy had no ambition, no direction, no plans for the future. What he did have was a heritage, one he chose to deny. It nearly cost him his life. He was captured and imprisoned. Those who took him believed he could help them find something. The apple. One of several artifacts we call Pieces of Eden. Bits of ancient technology scattered across the globe. Some hidden, some found, all of them dangerous. Most are held by a single group, the same group that now had Desmond. You know them as Abstergo Industries. We know them as the Templars. As the enemy. We've been fighting them for thousands of years. Even longer if you believe the stories of their origins. I do. After all, I've seen the truth. That's the beauty and the horror of the Animus. A device that allows us to enter and experience the lives of our ancestors. It holds the power to change everything, to show us history the way it really happened. Up until its creation, to the victor went the spoils, went the truth. We're trying to fix that, to free minds and bodies both. But there's only so much that we can do, and the Templars have the upper hand these days. But something larger than the Assassins and Templars is approaching, bigger than all of us. And if we can't find a way to stop it, these next few weeks will probably be our last. Everyone's last. In the end, it all comes down to him. To Desmond. Through the Animus, he discovered his heritage, explored the lives of his ancestors, and uncovered their secrets. When that was done, he trained. He used another ancestor to provide decades of experience in the span of a few days. It worked. We think. We hope. Soon, though, soon we'll know. That ominous date fast approaches, December 21st, 2012. None of us knows what it'll bring, only that this is where they want us to be. When it does. They've been guiding us in their own fractured, frustrating way. These voices from the first civilization, the ones who came before, a precursor race of immense power and uncertain motives. They're the ones who made the Pieces of Eden. This is where they've led him, and through him, us. He stands at the entrance to this long-lost place, armed with the knowledge of Altair and the abilities of Ezio. He holds in his hands the Apple of Eden, and we stand at his side, ready to support him however we can. His name is Desmond Miles, and he has brought us to the end.
Alright, quite the intro there. And there we are in the car. We get to finally see William. Pretty cool, pretty cool. You can tell, I know this is, again, the remastered one. The graphics are so updated compared to the SCO trilogy. It's quite nice. Very nice.
We're here.
Desmond does look a little different, but that's okay. It's still him. It's still our boy. This game has some really great stuff in it. I'm pretty excited to check out again.
Let's go.
Whatever you say. This is actually, by the way, the second ever Assassin's Creed game I played. The first one I ever played is Black Flag. And then I got this one. And then after that I tried Unity and then Rogue. And back then, the only one I ever finished was Black Flag. So, yeah. I quite like this game, though, now. Looks like people have graffitied this ancient structure. More ancient than they would probably know. Open sesame. Alright, Desmond, say something. I know you've been stuck in the Animus for a while, but say something.
In another moment, down went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world she was to get out again.
Nice reference, Sean. Nice reference. Oh yeah, we're walking, okay. They did change the running and jumping in this game a little bit compared to the original. Well, the original trilogy, I should say. Well, not really a trilogy, saga, considering there's 4 games. Even though
I think we're here.
this is the 5th game and it's labeled 3. It's kind of funny how that works. Oh, we lost our light, but that's okay. We can suddenly see down here. So it's, oh yeah, 'cause it's just the glowy walls. Pretty cool. Here we are. This game's hub world. Or hub area, I guess. We'll be able to play it soon enough. Promise. There we go. Very cool.
The key. You must find the key.
Very blurry.
Son?
Sir. Here we go again.
Oops. That's not good.
Do you hear us?
Yeah. What happened?
The temple triggered a bleeding effect. You collapsed and entered into a fugue state.
So naturally, you dropped me into the Animus instead of, I don't know, making sure I was okay?
You weren't in any danger. Besides, the temple appeared to be communicating with you, and I didn't want to risk severing the connection. At least not until we knew what it wanted.
Right. Of course.
Son,
No, it's fine. I get it. And I know what I'm looking for, by the way. It's a key. Just no idea where it is, though. I guess that's why she triggered the bleeding effect.
She?
Juno, Dad. She's talking to me.
Well, she was.
Okay, Desmond. While you were, visiting Constantinople, we picked up a software update for the Animus. I'd like to run a couple of quick tests, make sure there aren't any major issues.
All right. What do you need me to do?
We'll start simple. Walk to the marker over there.
Oh, this part's really cool. Yeah, you only need to hold R2 to run now. And then X is to climb.
Okay, Desmond. Let's practice climbing on these objects.
There we go. Oh yeah, I don't think you need X to climb either, actually. That's awesome, man. It's gonna take me a second to get used to that again, but yeah. They simplify it. Now, on the one hand, simplifying it makes things easier, but on the other hand, it does give you less opportunities sometimes in games to, you know, do everything you want to do. This part's so awesome, by the way this is gonna transition. I don't want to spoil it, but it's so
Rerun your
cool.
way through this little obstacle course.
It's very smooth, like this. Except for how bright this area is. I don't care for that, but... I think I could have gone along
That's
the wall
a
there, but...
constraint. These are optional
Not worried about it.
objectives that raise your synchronization rate. Alright, Desmond. Follow the on-screen instructions and kill the 2 Templars.
There we go.
All you have to do here is jump the gap.
Nice. I don't... There we go. It's kind of hard to tell where I'm going, but I can get there. I keep pressing X like I need to. But I guess to jump, maybe. Makes sense. Here we go. This is badass.
Synchronization levels look good now. We should be able to build the world. Time to find out what the temple wants from you.
It's all constricting. I like that. It's very cool. This is our guy.
Sir? Sir? Everything all right, sir?
Yes, fine. I'm just preoccupied, that's all.
Don't forget your invitation. Master Birch will be meeting you inside.
Thank you.
Where shall I retrieve you once you're done?
Front of the Opera House. And be quick about it. Don't expect to be here long.
I'll bring her round at once.
Alright. This is so smooth. And there we
Invitation, please. Shall I take your coat, sir?
Look at this. This place is incredible. No, I don't want to leave the Animus to read emails. Not right now.
You are requested to kindly find your seats.
Oh yeah. We do have some database though. Let's see here. Where are we? So great, we can read about characters we've already played as, but I don't feel the need. I'm just gonna clear them out of here. Ezio and... Oh my god, I keep pressing the button twice because it's slow. There we go. Theatre Royale. You might hear this referred to as Covent Garden, which it faces, or the Royal Opera House, which it later became. However, this is the original Theatre Royale building, or Royal building. Opened in 1732, destroyed by fire in 1808. It will be rebuilt, then destroyed by fire again in 1857, and then almost completely renovated in the 1990s. They've installed a smoke detector this time. The original theater lineup was varied, containing ballet, operas, even acrobatics. Many of Handel's operas opened here, right up until his death in 1759, when he mysteriously stopped writing them. But the building was mainly used for presenting plays, at least for the first 100 years of its history. The reason? It held the exclusive rights to perform spoken drama in London, awarded by King Charles II. Yes, kings could do that, though why they would is beyond me. Honestly, yeah, kings have a lot of power back in the day. Or had, I should say. Look how beautiful this place is, though. That's incredible looking.
Good evening, sir. This way, please.
And we'll be back to this theater again someday. And one of my favorite little scenes. That really...
My apologies.
Connects everything together. Well, maybe not this theater, but a theater at least. I think it is this one.
Evening, Haytham.
Reginald?
I can't tell you how happy I was to hear they'd mounted this revival. Gay's best work by far. Have you seen it before?
Once. My father brought me here as a child. Though I remember little of it. I don't suppose tonight will afford me the luxury of a proper viewing either.
No, I'm afraid it won't. On to business, then. Do you see him?
Yeah.
He's seated in one of the boxes above.
The stairs are watched. You'll need to find another way up.
So is mine.
I already have.
He acts in a double capacity, both against rogues and for them. For 'tis but fitting that we should protect and encourage cheats, since we live by 'em.
Well,
So,
I believe it's time to go.
trial comes on in the afternoon.
1,000 pardons.
And she hopes you will order
My
an
apologies.
ambulance so as to bring her off. As the wench is very active and industrious, you may satisfy.
Alright, let's read up on Reginald Birch. Born 1705, Reginald Birch was a London merchant, the son of another London merchant, who, conveniently enough, also had the last name Birch. It seems it was one of those hard-to-put-your-finger-on things that ran in the family. Birch started in business for himself at an early age. By the time he was in his mid-20s, he already owned several merchant ships, mainly dealing with the tea trade to the American colonies. That's pretty good going, seeing as by the time most people are in their mid-20s, they don't even own a shirt. I have him as part owner of the Providence, among others. Later in life, Birch also owned several businesses in and around London. He was a member of White's, which was a posh gentleman's club in London, and generally known as a well-respected man about town. From what I can tell, Birch met Haytham Kenway, the character we're playing as here, while working for his father, Edward. They were introduced at White's while Haytham was still quite young. Birch would eventually take over Haytham's education, tutoring him while on tour of Europe in the 1730s. From what we've seen in the Animus, it seems their friendship continued into adulthood, with them working together as members of the Assassins. Interesting. Seems we've moved beyond the need of hoods by now. Alright, now for the part that I cannot believe no one will notice us doing this. This is ridiculous. I can't believe no one would notice below us specifically. Like at the back. I can't believe that. Right here, even.
And in truth, 'tis a pity to lose so good a customer. If none of the gang take her off, she may, in the common course of business,
where am I going?
Live at 12 months longer.
There we go.
I love to let women escape. A good sportsman always lets the end partridges fly, was to free the game to
Alright, up and up and up we go. Hell, the guy across the way that we're trying to get to should notice us, right? There we go. So yeah, I haven't caught on. The Kenways are, I believe, technically a different branch of Desmond's ancestry. Now for something that will only happen once. Oh, what am I doing here? There we go. Yeah, we'll never have to do that again. That's randomly here. Michael? Hello? Glad to see someone watching. There we go. Just gonna make our way over here.
A little Dutch courage up with the blue moon cheek.
Oh, let's see what we got here. The Beggar's Opera. The Beggar's Opera opened in London in 1728. It's a musical, one of the earliest ever created. It was written by John Gay, a writer and friend of both Alexander Pope and Jonathan Swift, two of the prominent literary figures of the day. The opera was both popular and controversial. Popular partly because it was an excellent skewering of Italian opera, which was very popular at the time. However, instead of complicated Italian songs, the Beggar's Opera featured folk tunes that the audience could recognize, meaning you could hum along even if you didn't know Italian. It was controversial because of the subject matter. It's set in the Newgate prison. The main characters are all criminals who act much like the upper classes. It was a send-up of the British nobility, including veiled criticism of the head of government, neither of whom traditionally have a sense of humor. I've never met a queen who liked a knock-knock joke. Actually, I've never met a queen. The Beggar's Opera was accused of being a base form of entertainment, and because its main characters were criminals, accused of causing increasing crime. It's nice to see that criticism isn't just for movies and video games. Bloody opera, corrupting our kids. Alright.
Jeremy's really burning on the boards tonight. He's a marvel.
I'll make haste and use it, boy. And let me friends know what I intend. I love to make them easy ones.
There we go.
When a gentleman is long kept in suspense, penitence may break.
Haytham. You should have come to me. We would have found another way.
Yes. But then you would have known. For what it's worth, I'm sorry.
As am I.
Man, Haytham is cold, but very smooth.
Stateside balcony! Hurry!
I will just simply walk out.
That man there! Seize him! The man was killed in the upper balcony.
Oh my!
I've done no wrong. I searched him. Any weapons?
I beg your pardon.
Did they find the killer?
No pushing, please. That's an opera.
Get out of my way.
There is no danger. Peace, friends. There is no danger.
Move.
Peace, friends. There is no danger.
We must leave up on.
What are those men doing?
I'm staying where it's safe.
Get out of my way.
Move! Peace, friends. There is no danger.
Hey!
What are you calling an imbecile?
Where are you going?
And it's just that easy, I guess.
And how was the opera?
Rather dull, truth be told.
Shall we be off then?
Aye. To Fleet and Bride.
By your command.
Fascinating. Gentlemen, I hold in my hand a key. And if this book is to be believed, it will open the doors of a storehouse built by those who came before.
Ah, yes. Those who ruled, reigned, and vanished from the world. Do we know what it is that will be held within?
It could contain certain knowledge. Perhaps a weapon, or something as yet unknown, unfathomable in its construction and purpose. It could be any of these things, or none of them. They are still an enigma, these precursors. But of one thing I am certain. Whatever waits behind those doors shall prove a great boon to us all.
Or our enemies, should they find it first.
They won't. You've seen to that.
I assume you know where this storehouse is?
Ah, Mr. Harrison.
Gentlemen,
How fare your calculations?
I believe the site lies somewhere within this region.
That's a lot of ground to cover.
My apologies. Were that I could be more accurate.
That's all right. It suffices for a start. And that is why we've called you here, Master Kenway. We'd like for you to travel to America, locate the storehouse, and take possession of its contents.
I'm yours to command, although a job of this magnitude will require more than just myself.
Of course. Upon this paper are the names of 5 men sympathetic to our cause. Each is also uniquely suited to aid you in your endeavor. With them at your side, you will want for nothing.
Well, then I'd best be on my way.
I knew our faith in you was not misplaced. We've booked you passage to Boston. Your ship leaves at dawn. Go forth, Hatham, and bring honor to us all.
I go to America. Alright, 100% sync. That's not terrible.
Some fresh air might do me good.
Alright. We're on the Providence. The Providence was many sailing ships in the British Merchant Navy, which basically means it was a trade ship rather than one meant for war. You'll notice it's carrying cannon, but those are mainly for protection against pirate or privateer vessels, or for turning the ship into a privateer vessel should the need arise. The ship was built in 1748 and made several trips a year between Britain and the North American colonies, with occasional visits to the West Indies. The manifest doesn't indicate anything particularly interesting. Mostly it carried staples like tea, molasses, and cloth. It's captained by its part owner, one Samuel Smith, who got something of a reputation amongst sailors for both cruelty to his crew and penny pinching on rations. Incidentally, that's not exactly a way to keep good sailors on board. The crew is probably both inexperienced and disgruntled. Ideally, you want an experienced crew who are hugely gruntled. Although you likely don't know much about running an 18th century sailing vessel, odds are you won't notice the difference. I mean, if they're disgruntled, I feel like I'd figure it out. I do want to point out, you can actually see on his bracer there, the assassin logo, but it's a little broken off, it looks like, which I think is neat. Now we could read up on the Atlantic Ocean, I guess. Of course, crossing the Atlantic today is as easy as a plane ride, but it was much more difficult in colonial times, even though I imagine the tiny food and cramped conditions and likelihood of sitting next to a fat man for many hours were pretty much the same. For European travelers, it was at best a 6-week voyage, but depending on delays, it could last months. Dangers included storms, and their opposite being becalmed, seasickness, food running short, and dying of boredom because you had nothing to do all day. For Africans captured into slavery, the Atlantic voyage was much worse. Across the Middle Passage, usually to the Caribbean, the journey was just as long, but slaves were kept below decks and rarely allowed in the fresh air, with the men usually in shackles. They were given 1 meal a day, less if provisions ran low. Disease was rampant, and mortality rates were high. I will never complain about being inappropriately touched by airport security again. Though to be fair, we're now firm friends, and Juan was very gentle. Alright.
And then all will be well.
You sure about that?
Of course. Have I ever led you astray?
Nah. No, you don't sit right with the others.
Have faith, my friend. You'll see.
Well, well. Seems our esteemed guest has deigned to grace us with his presence. You might want to head back to your quarters. Top deck's no place for tender parnells.
So I thought. And yet here you are.
Fancy yourself a joker, eh? Let's see how funny you find this.
That's enough, Graves.
Stay out of this.
Alright, combat time. You gonna do something? There we go. Oh, I need to hold it, duh. That's why. I am. Why is it not doing anything? I'm holding the button. Excuse me? Why isn't it doing anything? What? Wait, huh? Yeah, that's what I'm pressing. Oh, you do it before that even appears. Okay. Sure, why not? That makes sense. Why would timing be important?
Listen to this, Hector. Thinks he can swagger on up here and declare himself king of the castle.
Please, fellas, call this off. If the captain sees us...
To hell with the captain. And to hell with you, Mills. Whose side you on, anyway?
Okay, now it's gonna let me do what I was trying to do. There we go.
We're ready to go again if you are.
This is unwise.
Why's that? You think I'm afraid of you?
No. But you should be.
Come on. That easy.
Do you yield?
Never! How do you like these odds?
Oh, come on. There we go.
What's the meaning of this?
Captain!
Explain yourself at once, Mr. Kenway.
He's thought we were simply passing the time with a bit of sport, Captain.
How about you pass the time by doing your goddamn jobs instead? I wasn't aware I was paying you to loll about. A word, please, Mr. Kenway.
Oh, I nearly forgot. There's your knife back.
I don't care for you, Mr. Kenway. I've had nothing but trouble since you came aboard.
Your problems have nothing to do with me.
I beg your pardon?
You're a poor leader,
ill-tempered and cruel, and it's clear your crew has no respect for you.
Look, I don't want to argue. In fact, I need a favor.
Oh, this is rich.
I suspect some of the men intend to mutiny.
Really? What a surprise.
As I cannot trust any of them, I am compelled to turn to you.
And why should I help you?
Because if they do intend to betray, I'm the only hope you have of reaching America alive. Well, what will it be?
If what you say is true, what other choice do I have?
Thank you.
But let me be clear. Should you ever dare to insult or threaten me again, I'll not hesitate but to cut off your head myself. Are we understood? Excellent. Good day.
Yeah, I would not mess with Ethan.
Mr. Kenway.
Captain?
Whatever they're up to, I believe it's coming to a head.
I'd best get to work.
Alright, let's get to the bottom of this.
He's cut our rations again. Claims we're not provisioned for such luxuries.
It's not right that you should feast on lamb and wine. We're
You're not having
stuck
second
with
thoughts,
tinned
are you?
fish and biscuits.
I know it needs to be done, but...
But
what?
Bill's right. Captain turned
Another
him
wife
away.
and 2 daughters.
Then we must
What if it
find
goes
him.
wrong?
With more force if need be.
There's no one aboard doesn't agree with us. The longer we wait, the longer we go without.
Take his hat off.
You looking for another fight? That it? Go away.
Okay. I'll talk to him later. I'm gonna talk to these guys over here. Oh, we got the thing for Louis. Is it Lewis Mills, I assume? Lewis Mills is a deckhand originally from where we British somewhat optimistically call sunny Brighton. He got his love of the sea from his father, who was also a sailor. He first took young Lewis to sea with him at the age of 10, sailing from London to Boston on a vessel named the Windward. As he grew older, Mills kept working as a merchant marine, traveling the world and gaining a reputation as a reliable and level-headed sailor. He joined the crew of Providence in 1752, staying with the captain and crew through a variety of hardships, though by 1755 he was thinking of moving on. There he is.
Quite the basting you gave Graves and Quill.
Wasn't by choice.
Aye. Blockheads, the both of them. Where are my manners? Louis Mills. Pleased to meet you.
Ethan Kenway. So, should I be watching my back?
I think the boys learned their lesson. They're normally not so nasty. Honest, it's just the past few crossings have been a bit rough.
Oh?
Captain's trying to cut costs. Reduced rations, lower wages, more dangerous cargo. It's put the crew on edge.
Is there cause for concern, then?
Not if I can help it. But the captain needs to think about the way he treats his men.
Fair enough. Seems reasonable.
I ain't got nothing to say to you.
Well, fuck you too, then. I don't feel like playing these dice games. We'll skip out on those.
You there! I have some questions for you.
That's nice, but I ain't got time to gossip. Probably wouldn't have anything useful to share anyway. You want information? Try the cook or the doctor. Everyone's always chatting them up.
Reasonable.
be serving for another couple hours. Some biscuits in the barrel if you're desperate.
Actually, I've come with a question.
What's that?
Have any of the men been acting strange recently? Said anything that struck you as out of the ordinary?
The boys cry about the rations, as if there's anything I can do about it. But beyond that, I ain't heard much. My advice? Go find James. His ears are always open.
And where might I find him?
Right behind you, actually. He's the one sitting on the barrel.
Sitting on the barrel.
Are you James?
Aye.
Haytham Kenway. Pleased to meet you.
I know who you are.
I was hoping you could answer some questions.
I figured as much, but not here. Follow me. So, what do you want to know?
Have you seen or heard anything out of the ordinary since we left port? Anything that gives cause for concern?
Some of the men have been gathering at night on the upper deck. I've only caught bits of their conversations, so I couldn't say for certain what they're up to. But I suspect it bodes ill.
Is it a mutiny they're planning?
All I know is they've little love for the captain. Mills has been trying to talk him down, but there's only so much one man can do.
Thank you for the information.
I only wish to see us reach the colonies alive.
Alright. I don't think I've ever done it in that order. I usually talk to the doctor.
Evening, sir.
How are things?
Calm and quiet. Just the way I like it. What brings you topside?
Thought I'd wander a bit. Stretch my legs. That's all.
Take care where you tread. The deck hides all manner of danger in the dark.
What was that? Someone's throwing cargo overboard. But why?
Interesting. Oh, we can talk to him.
You must expose whatever they're plotting.
Your crew's a tight-lipped bunch. But I'll see what I can do.
Well, hurry up.
Okay. I guess that's it. Fair enough.
He's cut our rations again. Claims we're not provisioned for such luxuries.
It's not right that you should feast on lamb and wine. We're stuck with
What we got
fish
here?
and biscuits.
Curious. Most curious.
A33.
Any news?
Each night it's the same. I scout one area, and they drop the painted barrels from another. I'm going to need to recruit an extra pair of eyes. Maybe James or Mills.
Why are they doing this?
Near as I can tell, the barrels serve as markers. They're leaving a trail. My fear is it's only a matter of time before whoever's following it.
Ship sighted aft! She's making ready to fire!
Beat to quarters, men! Ready them! Brace! Everybody down!
That's some timing.
A warning shot. Seems they don't mean to sink us, but board us instead. Man the cannons! Make ready to fight! I want you below decks.
Why? Let me help you secure the ship.
Do you know how to rig a sail? To load a cannon? To wage war at sea? I didn't think so. Now return to your cabin, or do I need to have you escorted? Secure the hatch!
Haytham.
Have you been topside? A ship's appeared and means to board us. It's strange. There's no sign of mutiny aboard. Doesn't make sense.
Ah, but it does.
What do you mean?
Did you think you could escape from London so easily after what you did at the opera? That we wouldn't notice? That we wouldn't follow?
Ah. So that's what this is about.
Surrender, and I will see that you are treated with honor.
If you wish to treat me with honor, give me a sword.
Are you sure this is how you want to play it?
Yeah, I think so. You did honor us, though. That's fair. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Alright, Mills, you're done for. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Out of here. Oh, yeah, you can't do that with him, okay. Get him while he's down. Ah, I keep forgetting. Damn it. There we go, that's better.
I told you to stay below decks.
I did as you asked. Only Mills was there waiting for me. He's the one that drew that ship here. There was no mutiny. Only him.
What do they want?
Me.
Then they can have you.
Is that so?
You'll catch us anyway. There's nothing to be done.
I can think of something.
You wish us to sail into the storm?
It's our only chance.
I won't do it.
Then I will.
All right. All right.
That's what I thought.
We need those ropes secured! I told you this was madness.
Calm yourself. I'll fix your sail for you.
Alright, let's do it. Cannot imagine trying to trust this type of ship to survive this. No, that's not it. Come on. There we go. Come on, tie it down.
We need more speed! Loose the sails! Hate them! You take the foremast! James, to the mainmast with you!
Alright. Here we go. Nope, not what I meant to do. Okay, that's fine. Actually, we could probably just go right up the middle, right? Yeah. There we go. That's gonna be easier. Come on. There we go. That is not ideal.
Help! Please!
Don't worry, James. I'm coming. I got you.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
I think we lost our pursuer. Day 72. Yeah, that hardtack does not look appetizing. Seagulls.
Make ready for our arrival, men!
Arrival? I see no land, only this interminable fog.
The gulls tell us all we need to know. Climb into the crow's nest and you'll see.
Okay. Sketchy as hell, but we'll do it. There it is. Made it. I just gotta wait for this to load. Boston, 1754. We're already on sequence 2.
Master Kenway! Master Kenway!
Yes, may I help you?
Charles Lee, sir. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. I've been asked to introduce you to the city, help you settle in. Oh, no need, sir. I've arranged for your bags to be delivered to the inn.
Thanks, Charles.
Are you by any chance John and Isabella's son?
Alright, let's read about Charles Lee here. Born 1731, Charles Lee was a British soldier who went on to be a major figure in the Revolutionary War. Lee's father was a colonel in the British Army and started his son off in a military career early on. He was sent to a military academy in Switzerland during his formative years, and then in 1746, Lee became an ensign for his father's regiment. Lee was sent to the colonies in 1755 to fight in the French and Indian War. He served under Edward Braddock and then later at Fort Ticonderoga, where he was injured in the fighting. Lee recovered and later fought at Fort Niagara. I'd always thought there would be a lot of fort fights fought. He finished his time in the colonies with the British conquest of Montreal. Lee returned to England in 1760, possibly because he was seeking career advancement. He was named a major in 1761 and was sent to fight the Spanish in Portugal. Though his service record there was good, Lee didn't receive praise on his return home. In fact, he was retired from the army at half pay. After that, Lee became a vocal critic of military higher-ups and the British Prime Minister, and found that his military career had inexplicably completely stalled. Interesting.
One and the same.
Your commission is with Edward Braddock, is it not?
Aye. But he's yet to reach America, and I figured I might... Well, at least until he arrives. I thought...
Yes? Out with it.
Forgive me, sir. I had hoped that I might study under you. If I am to serve the Order, I can imagine no better mentor than yourself.
Kind of you to say, but I think you overestimate me.
Impossible, sir. This way.
This is so cool. Like, I love the older Assassin's Creed settings, but there's something special about this. We didn't stop that thief, though. What's up with that?
Boston's quite a lively city.
There's all manner of things to see and do. Once you've settled in, I suggest you take some time to walk the streets. Who knows what opportunities you might discover.
Hold a moment. Need to fetch a few things before we get to work.
I'll arrange for horses while you do that.
Alright. So we got the world map then. And we can actually, like, explore it. It'll actually light it up as we do. So we head over there. General store. I'm assuming there's a database entry on Boston we'll have to read here. First, we got markets. There are a number of public markets in the colonies, meaning you can get supplies easily. Of course, paying for goods is another matter, as currency was incredibly complex. People paid in English, Spanish, French, and Portuguese coins, wampum, New Jersey and New York bills, magic beans, laundromat coins, the list goes on. We've simplified everything down for you in the Animus. You're welcome. While some markets sold a variety of goods, like Faneuil Hall in Boston, others made more specialized... Hold on, I just lost where I was. Others were more specialized, sorry. New York's County Slip was mainly a fish market, though like most markets it sold a little of everything. While if you were in the market for African slaves, Peck's Slip was the place to go. Yes, slavery was legal at the time, though it was less common in Boston than New York, which had the largest slave population in the north. Don't be surprised to see European servants for sale, either. Some were sold for a fixed number of years to pay back their passage to the New World. A much better deal than the slaves were offered. Yeah, no. It's pretty rough, though. Right. Whoa, take it easy, Charles. Alright, let's make our way over here. A little bit of jumping. A little bit of running. We've made our way to Faneuil Hall. Don't let the French spelling confuse you. The name of this building is pronounced Faneuil, or Fanel. Getting it wrong is a good way to indicate you're not from around here, but it's also a great way of proving you're not French, which in my experience is a real boon. Also, if you want to pass as a local, you should take a good look at the weather vane. It's a Boston landmark. Legend has it that in the War of 1812, suspected spies were asked what was on top of Faneuil Hall. Only a true local would be able to say it was a grasshopper. The building was named after Peter Faneuil, the local merchant who paid to build it. It was meant as a place for local farmers to sell their goods so their carts would stop crowding the streets, and also so you didn't have to walk near farmers. However, it's the meeting hall on the second floor which gives the building its nickname, the Cradle of Liberty. That's rather ostentatious, and I dare say American, as a nickname, but it's not inaccurate. People met here to protest the Stamp Act. The first anti-tea tax meetings were also held here. Anti-British meetings occasionally drew crowds so large the building couldn't even hold them, at which point they all went to the old Smouth Meeting Hall. During the Siege of Boston, the meeting hall here was made over into a theater. Since plays of any kind were banned in Boston under ordinary circumstances, something I think should still be a law, actually, this is yet another example of the British loyalists sticking it to the rebels.
Damned sprigs. This accursed city will be the death of me.
You seem troubled, friend.
That's because I am. Greatly so, in fact.
What's happened?
I was robbed. The old Balkan file. Though I've managed to restore what's mine, I fear it's ruined.
You mean the book?
This is no ordinary book. It's an almanac. The first I ever wrote. Benjamin Franklin. Pleased to meet you.
Hatham Kenway.
You must be new to Boston.
Why do you say that?
You're still possessed of virtue. To stop and help an old lout like myself. I don't mean to impose, but you seem a spry fellow. Should you happen to find my missing pages, I'll reward you.
Look, I'm not sure if I've...
It's all right, all right. If you have the time, hurrah. If not, no harm done. The thing is useless in its current state anyway. But should you somehow manage to restore it, you'll find me inside that general store over there.
Well, that was interesting.
Yeah, it was just Benjamin Franklin randomly. So there are 4 pages that we can collect, but we'll wait on that. So he was born 1706. Benjamin Franklin was a renowned inventor, diplomat, and one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. Translation, he was a rock star of the age. Benjamin Franklin was born in Boston in 1706, the 10th son of a soap maker. 10 sons. I guess his parents couldn't afford a television. And also, there was no television. He began working for his brother in 1718 as an apprentice printer. However, their relationship was rocky, particularly after the elder Franklin found out that young Benjamin had been writing for the paper under a pseudonym, Silence Dogood, and writing an extremely popular column at that. Human nature being what it is, the fact that the column was popular is probably the bigger problem. Benjamin ran away in 1723 and headed for Philadelphia, where he continued his career in printing and writing, eventually buying the Pennsylvania Gazette. The business, I mean, not just a copy. That would have been one of the lesser achievements. He stayed in Philadelphia for most of his life, that is, when he wasn't making extended trips to Europe. Franklin had a talent for persuasion, and that made him an ideal diplomat. In 1757, he went to London to represent Pennsylvania in an ongoing legal battle with the Penn family. It was the first of several extended political trips to Britain, and he would act as the state representative for Massachusetts, Georgia, and New Jersey as well. In fact, Franklin was in Europe for most of the Revolution, though he was in the colonies to help with the writing of the Declaration of Independence. Franklin was a vocal opponent of British impositions on the colonies, like the Stamp Act, and although he first fought for the rights of the colonists as British citizens, he eventually became convinced, like many of the Founding Fathers, that independence was the only real solution. Unfortunately, Franklin's change of heart made him clash with his son, William, who served as the royal governor of New Jersey. William remained an active loyalist. The father and son never spoke again. When he wasn't founding a new nation and destroying his family in the process, Franklin was a scientist, inventing things like bifocals and more efficient wood stoves when he wasn't mapping the Gulf Stream and discovering how electricity worked. What have you done today? Made yourself a microwave meal and sat about in your underwear? Oh, well done you. He was also quite the lady killer. Jesus, this guy, carrying on several friendships with women while he was in Europe. The records don't say what exactly they saw in him, certainly not his looks. Maybe women liked a man who's intelligent. If that was true, I wouldn't be here. I'd be in Portugal surrounded by them, and you'd be looking at a blank screen. Very nice, Sean, very nice. Should we do this little quest, I suppose? Central Boston. Nah, we'll do those later. I'm not worried about that right now. Not important currently.
Yeah, come in.
Get a German accent there. Alright, So we need to buy a normal sword. Let's read about it. This blade is useful to settle matters quickly and effectively when close combat occurs. Its noiseless approach makes it reliable under any weather conditions, especially when black powder is dripping wet and unusable. The guard is wide and protects the wielder's hand. Sometimes it may also be used to punch the opponent. Very cool. Normal sword. Then, flintlock pistol. This flintlock has better accuracy than at short range and is thus less powerful than the musket. However, it's more comfortable in a fight than on a battlefield and easier to wield, offering more versatility. Because of the time it takes to reload after every single shot, many people carry 2 or more pistols at the same time. Try crafting a pistol sheath with 2 holsters and add and carry a second pistol. We will eventually do that, but not right now. That's right, this game has crafting in it. It's basically Minecraft. Alright, so we go to the weapon wheel and select the sword, which is what it wants us to do. Oh, it wants us to do that too, okay. That.
Following a recent spate of accidents,
there we go.
A new bylaw will enforce annual roof inspections by qualified craftsmen.
Alright, Lee.
We ride for the Green Dragon Tavern. The proprietors are eccentric, but the rooms are spacious and they do not cry.
Have you been told why it is I've come to Boston?
No. Master Birch said I should know only as much as you saw fit to share. He sent me a list of names and bade me ensure you could find them.
And have you had any luck with that?
Aye. William Johnson waits for us at the Green Dragon.
How well do you know him?
Not well, but he saw the order's mark and did not hesitate to come.
Prove yourself loyal to our cause, and you may yet know our plans as well.
I should like nothing more, sir.
William Johnson. This game has a ton of historical figures that we'll be meeting in it. That's just one of them. Alright, here we are. Green Dragon Tavern. This tavern is sometimes called the headquarters of the Revolution, though I imagine when it is, they pronounce it headquarters of the Revolution, because overthrowing the government in a pub is thirsty work. It was a popular place for people like Paul Revere and Samuel Adams to sit with their friends and plot. Up until 1754, the tavern was owned by William Douglas. When he died, his property was left to his daughter, Catherine Kerr, and his nephew, Cornelius Douglas. They divided their inheritance equally, and it seems got along famously. The Freemasons bought the tavern in 1766 and renamed it the Freemasons' Arms, which didn't actually stick because the sign above the door was still a green dragon. Freemasons, the secret society everyone knows about. Let's get a pub where we can meet in complete secret and no one will ever know. Brilliant. What will we call it? How about the Freemasons' Arms? Legend has it that Paul Revere's ride was planned here, but that's unlikely. By 1774, Revere had been warned that the British were listening in on his meetings and had therefore stopped making super-secret plans in public where anyone could hear them. Someone tell the Masons, you know where to find them. Yeah. New weapons in the shop's very cool. Alright, let's head in.
You lying, cheating, no good son of a bitch.
Perhaps we've come at a bad time.
Oh, don't be foolish, dearies. Please, sit. Fancy something to eat? A drink, perhaps? Or is it a bed you require?
We've already let rooms here.
Oh, yes. Of course. Masters Lee and Kenway, was it? I'll have your bags brought up.
Yeah, they definitely don't get along that well, do they?
Do you require anything further?
Only privacy.
This way.
Alright, Charles. I'm following. Jeez, lots of weapons unlocked. We will buy them all eventually. Don't worry. Just not yet.
Sir, William Johnson.
A pleasure. A good lad, if a bit earnest. I'm told you're putting together an expedition.
We believe there's a precursor site in the region. I require your knowledge of the land and its people to find it.
Sadly, my research has been stolen. Without it, I'm of no use to you.
Then we'll find it. Do you have any leads?
My associate, Thomas Hickey, has been making the rounds. He's quite good at loosening tongues.
Well, tell me where I can find him. I'll see if I can't speed things up.
We've heard rumors of bandits operating from a compound southwest of here. You'll likely find him there.
Okay.
Charles?
Sir.
We'd best be off.
Of course.
Always something to do. Alright, there we go. I was waiting for something about William Johnson here. William Johnson was a land speculator and Britain's personal treaty negotiator with the indigenous peoples in the northern part of the colonies, particularly the Iroquois. Johnson was born in Ireland, but moved to the colonies in 1738 to look after his uncle's property on the Mohawk River. However, it wasn't long before Johnson branched out into business for himself, acquiring property on the opposite side of the river and setting up a sawmill and trading post, which he named Mount Johnson, which to me always sounds like mating instructions from a caveman. In 1743, he moved to an even larger parcel of land, which he named Fort Johnson. He may have been an excellent businessman, but it's possible he lacked imagination. Johnson befriended the indigenous peoples in the area, particularly the Kanien'kehá:ka, I hope I said that right, whose language he learned. His respect for their customs helped him rise to prominence as a liaison between the Iroquois peoples and the British government. Johnson was named Superintendent of Indian Affairs in 1756. As a contact who knows the land and its people, he's probably the best you'll find. I just realized we can actually talk to him, I do believe. Oh, there's something else in here. Thomas Hickey. Thomas Hickey was an Irish-born member of the British Army. He arrived in Boston in 1752, but it wasn't long before he was assigned to William Johnson's personal guard, apparently at Johnson's request, possibly because their families were connected in Ireland, or maybe he found the name Hickey funny. The record isn't clear. Hickey served under Johnson during the French and Indian War, but then left the army after being written up several times for disorderly conduct. After 1760, Hickey disappears from the historical record for several years. I do, however, have several mentions in William Johnson's household accounts of payments made to T.H. It's possible Hickey was working for him as a spy. If so, he really should have developed some tougher codes to crack. Actually, yeah, let's go talk to William. I totally forgot about that. You can actually chat with them, I think. Get a little more information on him.
Tell me about yourself, William.
What's to tell? I was born in Ireland to Catholic parents, which I learnt early in life severely limited my opportunities. So I converted to Protestantism and journeyed here at the behest of my uncle. But I fear my uncle Peter was not the swiftest of men. He sought to open trade with the Kanien'kehá:ka, but chose to build his settlement away from the trade routes instead of on them. I tried to reason with the man, but as I said, not the swiftest. So I took what little money I'd earned and bought my own little plot of land. I built a home, a farm, a store, and a mill. Humble beginnings, but well situated, which made all the difference.
So this is how you came to know the Mohawk?
Indeed, and it has proved a valuable relationship.
But still no mention from your contacts of the precursor site? No hidden temple or ancient constructs?
Yes and no. Which is to say, they have their fair share of sacred sites. Earthen mounds, forest clearings, hidden caves, but nothing matching what you describe. No strange metals, no odd glows.
It is well hidden.
Even to them, it seems. But cheer up, my friend. You'll have your precursor treasure. I swear it.
To our success, then.
And soon.
Yeah. Oh, is there more to say, or is that it?
Should not be much longer.
Okay, that's it. I do like to have a little chat with them to see what they're up to. You can kind of get a look around the building too, which is cool, but let's be on our way. I wish we could walk a little faster. I guess Hatham isn't in that much of a hurry. There we go. Okay. You must be Thomas Hickey.
Thomas Hickey?
Who's asking?
Hatham Kenway.
Is that supposed to mean something?
Show some respect, boy. Peace, Charles. William Johnson sent us in the hopes we might expedite your search.
We don't need no expediting. Don't need none of your fancy London speak neither. I found the men that done the theft.
Then why are you just lazing around?
Figuring out how to deal with those varlets.
I have an idea.
Well, let's hear it.
I'll kill the lookout, take up a position behind the guards. You two approach from the front. When I open fire on the group, you charge in. We'll have the element of surprise on our side. Half will fall before they've even realized what's happened.
Good plan.
Get into position. But wait for me to take the first shot.
Let's get our gun loaded back up. Pick this up. I like this one.
Go on now, before you make us mad.
Let's do it.
Go on now, for you.
Oh, reload. I have to press the button, yep.
So much for the element of
Can I aim? Oh, okay. Good to know. I don't block. There we go. Alright, load the damn gun.
Fall back! Fall back! We'll be safe inside!
I doubt that.
What now? We can blow the door with those. Go on, shoot them. On with the show then.
My rifle again. Well, not a rifle, it's more of a musket, but...
Guess they wasn't so safe inside after all.
Alright. Yeah, they definitely weren't. Pick up the chest.
Lay down your weapons, and I'll consider letting you live.
I make you the same offer. We've no quarrel. I only wish to return this chest to its rightful owner.
Nothing rightful about Mr. Johnson.
I won't ask again.
Agreed.
Oh my god. Get out of here. I'm gonna kill more mercenaries with firearms.
Your kind has no need for books and maps. Who put you up to this?
Never seen a person. It's always been dead drops and letters. But they always pay, so we do the jobs.
Well, those days are done. Tell your masters I said as much.
Who should I say you are?
You don't? They'll know.
Atham, this one's got some shot on him. You might want to be grabbing it on account of your pistol being parched.
A shame so many had to die.
Back to the Green Dragon then. I need a drink.
Alright. I feel like we're gonna run into more guys.
Careful, gents. We've company.
Don't let go of the chest, Charles. We'll take care of this rabble.
Oh, I'm not loaded. Fuck. Stay back.
Stop them, Thomas!
Ow. I need to load the gun.
Look at that.
Okay.
Wait, them bodies is sure to have loot on them. Would be a shame to let it all go to waste.
Are you mad? In case you've forgotten, we're in the midst of something.
Aw, why's you always got to go and spoil the sport?
Alright, anyone want to die? No? Okay. Doesn't look like it. They're just doing work. I'm trying to drop this.
Stop them, Thomas!
We're gonna load this again, I guess. Fire! Load. Get him.
Come on now. It's just a few fools with knives. They ain't so tough.
It's not the scoundrels I'm concerned with.
Alright. Got our optional objective done. That's pretty nice. Cows. And a goat. I was expecting you guys right here. Oh, block. Oh, I keep messing up the block because I'm used to doing it.
A little help, please.
Load. Shot. You do auto heal in this, which is nice. Please tell me we got, yeah, we got some cartridges, that's good. Perfect.
Oi! Mr. Johnson's gonna need to double my pay after all this if he expects me to keep at his side.
I'm sure we can arrange that.
There you are.
My thanks, Master Kenway. Now, tell me what it is you need.
images on this amulet, are they familiar to you? Perhaps one of the tribes has shown you something similar.
It appears Kanyan Gahaga in origin.
Can you trace it to a specific location? I need to know where it came from.
With my research returned, perhaps. Let me see what I can do. Thomas!
What?
Rent yourself a room. And a bath as well. I suspect we'll be here for a while.
Alright. I believe we can learn a little more about our characters here now. Wait and see. I want to see the map to make sure I'm not starting the next mission.
I'll let you know as soon as I have something.
Alright, Mr. Hickey.
Any news?
Whispers of things. Nothing solid at the moment. I know you're looking for word of anything out of the ordinary. Dealing with temples and spirits and ancient times and whatnot. But, so far, can't say my boys have heard much.
No trinkets or artifacts being moved through your... shadow market?
Nothing new. Couple of ill-gotten weapons, some jewelry likely lifted from a living thing. But you said to listen for talk of glows and ums and strange sights, right? And I ain't heard nothing about that.
Keep at it.
Oh, I will. You done me a great service, mister. And I fully intend to repay my debt. Thricefold, if it pleases.
Thank you, Thomas.
Place to sleep and meal to eat is thanks enough. Don't you worry. I'll get you sorted soon.
Nice. There we go. That's Sam Preston, the mister.
Evening, gentlemen. Charming. Oh, peace, Charles. He'll grow on you.
Oi! Catherine, you fussock! Get back here! Taddy needs a drink!
How fares the search?
Maths and maps are not cutting it.
What of your local contacts?
We'll need to earn their trust before they'll share what they know.
I have an idea on how we might be affecting that. There's a man who's taken to enslaving natives. Rescue them, and they'll owe us.
Do you know where they're being held?
Afraid not.
Benjamin Churchwill. He's a finder and a fixer. He's also on your list.
And there I was, wondering whom I might solicit next. Well done.
Alrighty. Got some work to do once more. Now that I think about it, I wonder if Charles has anything to say before I leave, because I know the others won't. Alright, just you, Charles.
Do you like it here, Charles?
There's a certain charm to Boston, I suppose. To all of the colonies, really. Granted, their cities have none of London's sophistication or splendor, but the people are earnest and hardworking. They've a pioneer spirit I find compelling.
It's quite something, really, watching a place that's finally found its feet.
Has it, though? The French still wage war from up north, and I fear the Spanish have designs upon this place as well. Is this a new world, or just another battlefield?
Ah, that's a story old as time itself, and one that's not like to change. We're cruel and desperate creatures, set in our conquering ways. The Saxons and the Franks, the Ottomans and Safavids. I could go on for hours. The whole of human history is but a series of conflicts and subjugations. A desire for more and more and more.
I pray one day we rise above it.
Whilst you pray, I'll act. We'll see who finds success first,
It was an expression.
Aye. And a dangerous one. Words have power. Wield them wisely.
Alright. Interesting little bit about their philosophies. Yeah, I'm not playing a dice game with these people. I have no intention to. It just teleports us here. Alright, the church residence. This house was built in 1707 by a prominent local merchant named Robert Califf. Benjamin Church bought it from his heirs to use as Boston residence. Church's practice is on Newbury Street, a fairly short walk away, so the house was an ideal location. It's also in a nice part of town. Even in colonial Boston, 2-story houses with fenced-in gardens don't come cheap, and they didn't even get cable. Actually, given the location, it seems that Church's practice was doing very well indeed. That or he had another source of revenue. Alright.
Wonderful.
That's one way.
Charles? Sir?
No arguments there, I guess.
Seems like we're not the only ones looking for Mr. Church.
Damn it, he could be anywhere. What do we do?
We find him. Come. I'll show you how.
Alright. So I want to kill these guys.
Gatehead's parlor, Church Street, past the common.
Should we write his family, do you think?
Not our business to meddle, even if we've the best of intentions.
But if you could have seen it, they were surely drunk carrying on like that, and during the day, no less.
One, Samuel Adams.
Alright,
Boston
well,
Crown Tax
time to make him
Collector,
not
has been
suspicious.
sanctioned for failing to collect taxes.
Yes, game, I can do that. That's what I wanted to do initially, actually.
Scandalous behavior from one who aims to be a surgeon. Not likely if he keeps up such carousing.
Truly a shameful display. Benjamin's parents would be mortified.
Perhaps I should send someone to retrieve him before he damages his reputation beyond repair.
They stumbled off to the northeast, no doubt in search of a tavern or some other place of ill repute.
Start questioning those on the street. I'm headed for higher ground.
I like I'm still carrying that painting I carved up. Oh, this way. Alright. We do run a little faster with X, so that's good.
French forces. French commander to Jumonville.
Let's see. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Looks like the top of this church. This is the New South Meeting House. Another wooden church, this time with a bell in the steeple. Samuel Adams' father, also named Samuel Adams, was one of the founding members. I'm surprised it wasn't torn down for firewood during the siege, but I guess its members just hadn't angered the British enough for that. It's conveniently named so you won't mistake it for the Old South Meeting House, where all the important events happened. Simple is best. I'm describing the naming system, not describing you. Oh, there's something else in there. Hold on. I saw that. You can't hide that from me. Game. Recent entries. Benjamin Church. I knew we were missing that. Born 1734. Benjamin Church was a talented physician and essentially the first Surgeon General of the U.S. Army. Church was born in Rhode Island and graduated from Harvard University in 1754, so you're meeting him here just out of college. He'll be appointed head of the medical wing of the Continental Army in 1775, but for God's sake, don't tell him. It'll go straight to his head. Church goes on to become a vocal patriot, which makes him sound like a member of a weird barbershop quartet, but he was a member of the Sons of Liberty and his local committee of correspondence. He'll even speak at the 3rd anniversary of the Boston Massacre. He's also got a house in a very nice part of town. Being a doctor must pay well. Alright, there we go. How to do some climbing. Yeah. Let's make our way up to the top of this bad boy. I don't want to do too much synchronization early game, but we'll do this one for sure. Hello, bird.
Time to take a listen. With luck, one of those people knows what became of Benjamin.
Yep. The only sad thing in this game is you really can't see that far. It's something that really only is in this game. It makes me a little sad. There we go. Let's go take a peek over here.
I've asked the criers, but they all plead ignorance. Bugger that! They're lying! Aye. Well, what can I do? Threats light off them and I'll not deign to grovel. Actions speak louder than words, my friend. Arrest one and put him in stocks. See if he's so glib then. To do so without cause will set them singing songs about us. Last thing the city needs is town criers complaining about our abuse of authority. Then forget it. The crime is done. The killer's gone. Those who know won't share their secrets. If the city wishes to harbor scoundrels, let them pay the price for it.
Okay. Well, let's get a move on then. If I can go in the direction I want to go. Let's see. Probably shouldn't stay on the rooftops too much. We'll get spotted by someone. Alright, which one of these do we want to go for? Probably these guys over here would be the better bet.
I asked if I could help, and they waved me away. Insisted it was all under control. How odd. Did they say what had happened? No. Only that it was a trifling matter, and he'd be returned home soon. There was some blood, though, so I wonder if it wasn't more serious than they let on. Where were they taking him? Towards the hilltop. Perhaps there's a doctor at the fort.
Okay, we heard it. That's good. Ooh, come on. There we go. Oh, we need to listen to them.
There is little church, but one way or another, the debt would be settled. I don't envy the man. He's green fire ahead.
Well, what do you think they're planning?
All I know is it can't be good. Cutter was with him.
Probably looking for a nice, quiet place to do the deed. From what I hear tell, his work usually involves quite a bit of screaming.
Which reminds me, we'd best not buy any meat tomorrow.
Good call, that.
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
See, Charles? We'll have church in no time, just as I said we would.
If I might ask, sir, where did you learn to do all this?
It is a requirement when you are raised in the manner that I was.
Yeah, that adds
Perception
up.
is fundamental to the order. It guides the feet when running and climbing, informs the hands when striking and fighting.
But most important, it transforms the senses, and we begin to know the world in a different way.
Alright.
Careful. The place is well guarded. We need to slip past them.
Charles is somehow getting through on the scene. That's good. There we go. This isn't so bad. Alright. Let me in.
Locked. I'll have to find the key. Wait here.
Can't kick this one down. Alright, so we need a pickpocket. Okay, there's that guy. Or there's the one over here. Or there's one over there. I think the one over here is our best bet. You don't see anything. Where are you going? Cool, actually, that's perfect. Oh, that's not good at all. That's not what I wanted to do. You don't see me. Oh, shit. Oh, come on. Why did he fall down there? Oh, you're kidding. Really? Can I just reset? This is dumb. I don't want to fight all these guys. Get out of here. I don't want to see you anymore. You guys suck. That was dumb. He turned around so fast. That's annoying. I believe we got some new entries, though. So we got British regulars. British regulars are the foot soldiers of the British Army. You'll also hear them referred to derisively as redcoats because of the red coats they wear as part of their uniforms. I bet you didn't see that coming. Or lobsterbacks because of their huge, deadly pincers. Or still because of the red coat thing. I can't remember which. Regulars in the colonies were notoriously underpaid, and many looked for work outside of their army duties to make ends meet. Of course, their room and board was paid by the government, meaning they could charge lower than average rates for their work. Since unemployment was high in Boston before the Revolution, you can imagine this made the redcoats rather unpopular among people they were taking work from. That and their huge deadly pincers. And of course we got grenadiers. Grenadiers were originally the soldiers in charge of throwing grenades, hence the name. They were chosen for being tall, muscular, and fearless. Not only did they need the strength to throw grenades far enough to actually injure the enemy, they had to be brave, or stupid, enough to stay in the front lines of battle to do it. Grenadiers were also called upon to be fast, effective assault troops, helping with things like storming breaches during sieges, you know, all the standard easy jobs that are likely to get you killed. By the mid-18th century, grenades had fallen out of favor, but grenadiers were still regarded as elite regiments, called on to guard the right flank of their battalions, and still to do all the other dangerous work they'd gotten a reputation for. An interesting note on the hats, they were made high and narrow so that as not to get in the way while you're throwing grenades, which is a good feature to have. Eventually, the mitre hat became part of the standard dress uniform in numerous armies. It's also possible grenadiers just really dig the idea of looking like the Pope. History's mute on that point. It's a fair enough assessment, I guess. I'm just very disappointed we had to fight all of those guys to do that. It was quite annoying.
Here we are then.
Guess I should have just stabbed that guy.
Why must you always make these things so difficult, Benjamin? Merely provide me with recompense, and all shall be forgiven.
I'll not pay for protection I don't need.
Clearly, you do require protection. Else we wouldn't be here. How very gauche. Now, what shall we do about our guest?
Maybe I take his hands, put an end to his surgery. Maybe I take his tongue, put an end to his waggling. Or maybe I take his cock, put an end to his fucking us.
So many options. I can't possibly decide. Take all three.
Now, hold a moment. Perhaps I was hasty in refusing you earlier.
I'm so very sorry, Benjamin. But that door has closed.
Be reasonable, Silas.
I rather think I was. But you took advantage of my generosity. I won't be made a fool a second time. I fear I lack the constitution to bear witness to such barbarism. Come find me when you're finished, Cutter.
You'll regret this, Silas, do you hear me? I'll have your head!
No. I rather think you won't.
What a nice group of people. Let's read about him. Silas Thatcher, born 1720. Silas Thatcher was the nephew of a well-to-do London merchant who purchased a commission for him in the British regulars when he was quite young. He was sent to the colonies in 1750, poor man, where he was posted at the defense along Boston Neck. You won't be surprised to learn that Thatcher had a mean streak. Few men wanted to serve under him, which might be what led to him being posted in Boston in the first place. Living in the colonies was regarded as something akin to exile at the time. Actually, come to think of it, not much has changed. Men who advocated under men who advanced under Thatcher's command were noted for their cruelty, like his personal assistant Cutter, which even you might have guessed as a nickname, meaning one who likes to cut things, preferably people. Not what I look for in a PA, but there you go. At the time, pay in the army was notoriously bad, and soldiers would often pick up odd jobs in their spare hours to make ends meet. This made them rather unpopular in Boston, where unemployment was rather high. However, Thatcher found something he enjoyed much more, demanding protection money from merchants in Boston. Not only that, but he dabbled in theft, fencing stolen goods, and the slave trade, a real Renaissance man, capturing the local indigenous people and selling them off to be the highest bidder, which is what he was doing when Haytham found him. Yeah, real nice guy. Real nice guy.
Though I dare say I'll do my best to ensure that doesn't happen.
Your parents must be so very proud to have raised a specimen like yourself.
Quiet now. I need to concentrate on me work. Hold still a minute. I gotta decide where to start.
You're a ruffian, common as dirt, Cutter.
And proud of it. A little bit from here, a little bit from there. Make myself a nice keepsake, I will.
You're absolutely mad.
Just like all good artists. Just a quick little swipe and no more ears. How's that sound, Mr. Church?
At least I'll be spared more of your inane prattle. You're a ruffian.
Okay, we've heard everything, huh?
And proud of it. Hold still a minute. I gotta decide.
There we go. No more Cutter.
Who are you?
Haytham Kenway, at your service.
I don't understand. Why are you here?
Walk with me, Mr. Church, and all will be explained.
I would not complain about being saved there. Alright. Yeah, we don't need to replay it, because I am not going for 100% sync. We'll look for the almanac pages later.
Johnson's told me what you intend. As it happens, the man who held me is the same one that you seek. His name is Silas Thatcher.
That fancy lad is our slaver?
Don't let his velvet tongue deceive you. A crueler and more vicious creature I've never known.
What can you tell me of his operation?
He hosts at least 100 men, more than half of whom are redcoats.
All this for some slaves?
Hardly. The man's a commander in the King's troop, in charge of the Southgate Fort.
We need to find a way inside. Let me think on it. In the meantime, I'll attend to our final recruit.
John Pitcairn's our man. I'll take you to him.
Alright. Got one more man to recruit then. Getting ourselves a veritable army here.
State your business.
New recruit.
More kindling for the pyre, eh? Well, go on then.
I find it funny that...
How'd you manage that?
Did you forget, sir? My commission is with General Braddock. When I'm not attending to you, of course.
I was gonna say, I find it interesting that he doesn't have to wear the red coat, but I guess he doesn't always work for them. So we got John Pitcairn here, born 1722. In 1754, John Pitcairn was a young captain in the British Marine Corps. He fought in the French and Indian War, but I can't find much about his postings. He's listed as being on the HMS Lancaster during the capture of Louisbourg, probably. That's in Canada. No record of him being on the American side of the colony, but it seems he did some covert work as well. That would explain the lack of details. Pitcairn was promoted to major in 1771, and he gained a reputation for being well liked by his subordinates, and praised by his enemies. That's a difficult trick to pull off. Maybe he had a lovely smile. Oh, there's something else. Can't always hit me with these game. Multiple at the same time. So locations. This is Copp's Hill Battery. Copp's Hill is one of the tallest hills in Boston and the highest point in Boston's North End. The hill was fortified during the Siege of Boston, partly to discourage rebels from building their own fortifications across the river on the Charlestown Peninsula. The artillery on Copp's Hill fired on the Continental Army during the Battle of Bunker Hill. Well, sort of. It was actually a bit more of distraction than destruction, at least at the Breed's Hill fortifications. The artillery fire on the town of Charlestown was more effective. The resulting fires forced out the Continental Army snipers and leveled the town. Sorry, I misread that. Yeah, we haven't gotten to that part in time yet. We're still in the French and Indian War, or 7 Years' War, depending on how you want to look at it.
Pitcairn, you fool! Your acts are treacherous. Give me one good reason. I shouldn't kill you right now.
I'm one good
Were you
reason.
planning to announce yourself? Or did you hope my men
Sir,
wouldn't notice your
if
arrival?
you'll allow me to explain.
By all means. I should like very much to hear this.
I have not deserted, sir. I am here under Commander Amherst's orders.
Show me a letter bearing his seal, and you might be spared the gallows.
I have no such thing. The nature of my work, sir.
It's the sort of thing best not put to paper.
Hatham.
General Braddock?
I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. Wolves often travel in packs.
Master Pitcairn won't be here for but a few weeks. I shall return him to his proper post once our work is finished.
The devil's work, no doubt. It's bad enough my superiors have insisted I grant you use of Charles. But they've said nothing about this traitor. You'll not have him.
Edward, listen to reason.
We're done here. See these gentlemen out.
Well, that didn't go as I expected.
And to think I used to call him brother.
What now? They'll chase us off if we try and return.
We're done with this camp. But as luck would have it, so are they. Come along.
What are you planning?
To steal Master Pitcairn.
Alright, Edward Braddock, born 1695. Edward Bulldog Braddock was the major general placed in charge of British troops at the beginning of the French and Indian War, probably because he had a name like Bulldog. Braddock was serving as the acting governor of Gibraltar when he received the command in North America. He was given control of 2 regiments of regulars and assigned to win back Fort Duquesne from the French, known as the Braddock Expedition, as part of a larger attack on the French colonies on the continent. Braddock had been well liked as the governor of Gibraltar, but things changed once he reached North America. He had been known for keeping strict order among his troops, but it seems he went beyond that into brutality. He gained a reputation for being quick-tempered and cruel. He also displayed a contempt for non-British soldiers that alienated the colonial militia he was trying to recruit. So a cruel, racist bulldog, then. You're my least favorite type of bulldog. Or they're my least favorite type of bulldog, sorry. Braddock took a bullet to the chest during a battle in 1755, rumor has it from one of his own soldiers, which is a job hazard when you're nasty to the people around you and they all have guns. Sounds like the bulldog may have been put down. Likely.
What? You'll see. Now, when I give the signal, you're to distract Braddock's patrol and lure them into a dead end.
Oh. Another location, Christchurch. This is known today as Old North Church because it's the oldest church in the north end of Boston. But up to 1776, it would have been known as by its official name, Christchurch, named after Jesus Christ, a former celebrity carpenter. This is where, on the night of Paul Revere's ride, 2 signal lanterns appeared to warn rebels on the opposite shore that the British regulars were on their way to seize weapons. The signal was Paul Revere's idea, but contrary to popular belief, the lamps weren't a signal sent to Revere. They were meant to warn lookouts on the opposite shore in case Revere was captured. This church was a natural choice for a signal flame. It was the highest steeple in Boston and easily seen from the other side of the river. Even better, the church was Anglican. The congregation was full of wealthy loyalists. Who would suspect the church sexton, Robert Newman, a friend of Revere's, of sneaking into the church at night to send secret messages? Well, the British would, actually. They captured Newman a few days later and questioned him. He put on a terrific show and managed to convince them he was innocent, and then fled town, which didn't really back up the whole innocent thing very well at all. Yeah, probably not. We're going the wrong way now. That is unfortunate.
All very best in firearms.
Where shall we? Perhaps down Marlborough? No. Its residents are too content. Their homes are nice, their days untroubled.
More of Lynn or Ship Street?
Yes. Those fresh arrived are often soon in dire straits. They're more likely to seize upon an opportunity to fatten their purses and feed their young.
Okay. Just gonna sneak about. Can actually still hide amongst people, which is nice. Haven't completely got rid of social stealth. Where to?
Now!
Perfect.
Oi! You thieves and scoundrels, one and all! Fire on you and your false war!
What are you doing, Charles?
After him!
Like he wouldn't recognize Charles and get mad at him for that. Alright.
Unhand him, Edward.
You again.
Let us go. And John Pitcairn with us.
I will not have my authority challenged.
Nor I.
Put them all in chains.
Ow. Wait, who called reinforcements? What? There we go. Alright, Braddock. You wanna talk?
I stayed my hand today because you were once my brother, and a better man than this. Or should our paths ever cross again, all debts will be forgotten.
You're free now, John.
Traitor! Go on then. Join them on their fool's errand. And when you find yourself lying
I assume
broken
you've good reason for causing all this madness. What is it you require of me?
I'll explain everything on the way.
Oh, we don't get to hear his speech. Okay. Time to meet some people. Should be able to chat with Pitcairn here.
If I may, I was curious about your past with Braddock. You two clearly have a history.
Edward was one of us upon a time. I considered him a close friend. He was brave and bold in ways few men are. But everything changed at the siege of Bergen op Zoom. We had lost the fortress to the French, and were in the midst of egress. There was a skiff hidden at the port with which we planned to make our escape. As we drew near, a young man and his family came upon us, begging for safe passage. I consented, but Edward refused. The young man called him Craven then. So Edward killed him and all the rest. Even the children. To this day, I don't know why. Was this the first time he'd struck out? Or had I simply never seen it before? Either way, things were never the same after that. We campaigned together a few more times, but each outing was more disturbing than the last. He killed and killed. Enemy or ally, civilian or soldier, guilty or innocent. It mattered not. If he perceived one to be an obstacle, they died. He maintained that violence was a more efficient solution. It became his mantra. And it broke my heart.
I had no idea.
He hides it well, and intimidates into silence any who discover him. Those who persist have a tendency to find misfortune.
And we should stop him.
I suppose you're right. But I maintain a foolish hope that he might yet be saved and brought back round to reason. I know. It's a silly thing to believe that one so drenched in death might suddenly change.
I'm sorry to have brought this up. It was not my intent to sour you.
Nonsense. We are brothers now. There should be no secrets between us.
Fair enough.
This business with Silas confuses me. If Britain stands any chance of pushing back the French, they must ally with the natives, not enslave them.
Silas is loyal only to his purse. That his actions harm the crown is irrelevant. So long as there are buyers for his product, he'll continue to procure it.
All the more reason to stop him, then.
My days are spent in Congress with the locals, attempting to convince them that we're the ones they should trust. That the French are merely using them as tools, to be abandoned once they've won.
Your words must lose their strength when held against the reality of Silas' actions.
I've tried to explain that he does not represent us. But he wears the red coat. He commands a fort. I must appear to them either a liar or a fool. Likely both.
Take heart, brother. When we deliver them his head, they'll know your words were true. So, a question for you. Why medicine?
I'm supposed to tell you I care for my fellow man, right? That I chose this path because it allows me to accomplish a greater good.
Are these things not true?
Perhaps. But that's not what guided me, no. For me, it was a less abstract thing. I like money.
Well, that's simple.
There are other paths to fortune.
But what better ware to peddle than life? Nothing else is as precious nor so desperately craved. And no price is too great for the man or woman who fears an abrupt and permanent end.
Your words are cruel, Benjamin.
But true as well.
You took an oath to help people, did you not?
I abide the oath, which makes no mention of price. I merely require compensation. Fair compensation. For my services.
And if they lack the required funds?
Then there are others who will serve them. Does a baker grant free bread to a beggar? Does the tailor offer a dress to the woman who cannot afford to pay? No. Why should I?
You said it yourself. Nothing is more precious than life.
Indeed. All the more reason one should ensure they have the means to preserve it.
What an asshole. I want to listen to anything.
When I
Dickie
know
says.
something, you'll know something.
Okay, that was nothing. Fair enough.
Gentlemen, I believe I found the solution to our problem. Or rather, Odysseus has.
Oh, do you? Are you a new guy?
The Greek hero, you lobcock. Allow me to explain. We enter Silas' fort, under the pretext of kinship. Once inside, we spring our trap, free the captives, and kill the slaver.
Dodgy, dodgy. I like it.
Then, let us begin. First, we need to find ourselves a convoy.
Sounds like a plan.
Convoy should be here soon. We'll attack on my signal.
Understood, sir.
If we time this right, we can catch them all unawares.
The Boston Weekly advertiser.
Ma'am, get out of the cart. What is she doing? That was great. Oh, I wanted to kill that guy. I guess you can't kill him. Never mind. Might be. Okay, can I move? Thanks. There'll be a little assassin logo on everybody down there. That's badass, yeah.
You and Williams serve as vanguard. Let no man reach us.
What about me?
You and John will follow from a distance and keep watch over us. I'll signal you when I have need of your services.
Notice is hereby given.
We're here to help you, along with those held inside Southgate Fort.
Free me.
Not until we're inside the gate. I can't chance an inspection of the gate going wrong. I'll see you safe. You have my word.
Samuel Adams, the Boston town tax collector, has been sanctioned for failing to collect taxes.
Do you know anything of Silas' operation?
Alright. French and Indian War, which lasted from 1754 to 1763. This is one of many wars in the long-standing British versus French rivalry. While you might call it a rivalry, I'd call it a battle of wits with an unarmed country. That's because he's British, and that's why you'd say that. This particular war being over who would come out as the biggest colonial power. Of course, it wasn't enough that the British and French fight one another. They convinced a number of North American indigenous nations to join the conflict as well, hence the name French and Indian War. The war started in the colonies, but it spread to Europe where it was known as the 7 Years' War. Before you pointed out, yes, I know the dates add up to more than 7 years. The conflict started in 1754, but the war wasn't officially declared until 1756. But well done for spotting it, you mathlete. I bet you were popular at school. George Washington has the honor of starting the actual fighting, under orders, of course. He was sent to create a fort in disputed territory. While he was doing that, he crossed paths with a French patrol. Washington attacked, the French retaliated. The British followed up by sending 2 full regiments of regulars to the fight, and so it began. The British fought a losing battle until about 1758, when they got a new prime minister who decided funding the war effort was a priority, possibly because of the whole French thing. Maybe he ate a bad baguette once. With the added support, the British, along with their indigenous allies and the colonial militia, began to gain ground slowly but surely. Eventually, the French were driven out of almost all of their territory in the north of the Caribbean, something we in Britain celebrate with a special holiday called Every Day All Year. So the British won, but they were left with huge war debts. They tried to pay these off with taxes levied from the colonists they defended from the French, who would have had them all eating onions and saying, "Oui, sir," "Non, sir," before you knew it. The colonists objected, leading up to a series of protests, which were part of the unrest that led to the American Revolution. Talk about gratitude. Zoeterloos. Yeah, that's the British perspective on that.
Then we might expect the nature of the defenses. You must be rather important to him if you were given your own escort.
Sir, we've enemies ahead. Shall I engage them?
No. Let Jonathan and Thomas take care of it.
As you wish.
Oh yeah, they should handle it.
I wish you'd trust us. Though I suppose it's only natural for you to be wary. So be it.
Yeah, this is even slower than the Skyrim car ride.
Halt! Identify your dog! Where is Lieutenant Jones? What's the meaning of this?
Take him out.
Engage the enemy!
There we go.
Goddamn dogs.
You, in the car. I need to inspect your cargo.
Let no man reach us!
Looks like you're to meet the Reaper.
Perfect. It looks like he's using an axe. It's pretty badass.
Aha! Bringing fresh meat.
On your guard, men.
Come here. I want to take a look.
Of course.
Easy,
Only
easy.
say the word, and I'll cut them down.
One moment there. Me and you. Who's your officer?
Alright, attack.
Get the enemy.
Meet the Reaper.
Nice. We're basically unstoppable.
All clear.
Should be at the fort soon.
Hold!
Evening, gentlemen.
State your business.
Delivery for Silas.
Go on then.
It's a pretty grim delivery, but hey.
See? I'm freeing you just as I said I would. Now, if you'll allow me to explain. Let her go.
But she'll give us away.
No, she won't.
What's the plan?
Free the captives and avoid detection.
What of Silas?
He dies.
I know when you're ready to strike.
Alright. We're at the Boston Neck. In the 18th century, the only land route into Boston was across a narrow strip of land called Boston Neck. One often talks about the heart of Africa, of course, or the bosom of Europe. How wonderful that Boston gets a neck. Fortifications were built across the neck to protect the city from a land attack, suppose a bit like a heavy necklace or a handsome neck brace. When the siege of Boston began in 1775, Governor Gage ordered that the fortifications be expanded and strengthened. They became known as Gage's Lines. Starting in the 19th century, land was added to Boston Neck, widening it to make room for the city to grow, and presumably to ease traffic on and off the island, since Boston's no longer in danger of attack from the countryside. Fair enough. Okay. Stealth assassinations from a corner spot. Let's see what we can do. I don't want to do that. Actually, just kind of go amongst these people to hide, if need be.
Greetings. How fares the watch?
Who are you?
Thomas Smith, newly recruited. Arrived from London just last week, in fact.
And you're to patrol with us?
So said Silas.
Fair enough.
I assume it's all rather
What are you
straightforward.
talking about?
I said stop
slouching.
Who are you to tell
Prisoners? A good friend
There
of Mr.
are no
Thunder's.
prisoners.
Oh,
You know who I mean.
I see.
the fellows we
My
caught?
apologies.
Take care with your
They
tongue
do
in the
not
future.
exist.
Certainly, sir.
Understood.
Upon my honor.
And if they did exist, we would not acknowledge them. There are no prisoners.
Can I whistle? Can I get on the corner spot? No? Come on over. That work? Yeah, okay. Not half bad. Alright guys, get out of here. Just punch the lock off. That's badass. Got both of them out. Okay, we need to get him somehow.
The colonies are meant to be an opportunity, not another war front. I must say, the weather in Boston is much fairer than back home.
Wait until winter and see if you still feel the same.
Or summer, for that matter. The heat and wet
Wrong guy.
suffocates a man.
And these uniforms.
Do not walk into me, please.
too heavy when it's hot.
Jeez. That's close. I want to try and get that, but I don't know if it's going to be all that easy. There was one more guy walking around over here, wasn't there?
I assume it's quiet here most days?
There he is. Nope, right here. Why do you notice? I whistle? No. You're done.
Who are you with?
I don't follow.
Lieutenant Wilkins?
No.
Come on.
Man named, Cosgrove.
I want to get that guy.
Lieutenant Cosgrove.
I've not heard of him. Cosgrove? Is he the chap with the gammy leg?
That's the one. That's the very man.
Saw action at Culloden, if memory serves. Put down the clans, he did.
That's the Lieutenant Cosgrove, hero of Culloden.
Bit of an arse, as I recall. I've never heard of him.
Alright, let him come closer, I guess. Or not. I guess I can just kill this guy. Still counts as a corner kill, so. Yeah, okay, that's fine. We can do that. Let's get this guy. Ooh, not cool. Not a big fan of that. I don't need the whole group over here. That's not cool at all. I just need one guy. Ideally him. Get in here for a second. I think I have a plan to get him. Okay, he walks like right by here. This will be our spot, I think. Come on over here. You know you wanna. And I gotta have this challenge done. What? No way. How did he see me? What? I was hidden. That's dumb. Oh, come on. Okay, I no longer care. We're not doing it. Just gonna get these people out of here and call it good. Get stabbed in the bushes because I don't care. That's far too much effort for far too little gain. Okay. Next stop, the ship. Ooh. Gotcha. Take that. Ooh, that's not what I wanted to do. How do you walk down here? This would be a great spot to kill him from. Perfect. Okay, we got it. I guess I didn't need to try very hard at all. Never mind. Get out of here. You're free to go.
An hour of quiet was all I asked. Instead, I'm awakened not 10 minutes later by this cacophonous madness. I expect an explanation, and it had best be good. How? How did this happen? My precious merchandise set free? It's unacceptable! Rest assured, I'll have the heads of those responsible, but first we clean up this mess! Seal the fort, kill any who try to escape. I don't care if they be one of us or one of them. To approach the gate is to be made a corpse. Am I understood?
Yeah, we're gonna have to get in there, though.
Push them back!
Pardon me, coming through. Not interested. Ow! That would have been great to know.
He's here!
Benjamin!
The interloper!
Glad to have
He's
you
the
with
one
us.
responsible!
I could use some
Kill
help.
him!
Back, vile path.
I'll fill you like a...
There we go, we got him.
Who are you? Name's Hatham Kenway. You don't know me, but I believe the two of you are well acquainted.
I made a promise to you, Silas. One I intend to keep.
What happens now?
We wait. But not for very long, I suspect.
There we go, we got through sequence 2. Which is likely where I'm gonna call it. Once we get to a spot where the game saves. After cutscenes. That's a pretty good start, though, I think. All things considered. And I do want to keep following the main story for now. But, we'll save that for next time.
It's been several weeks now since we freed the Mohawk prisoners from captivity. I had hoped their leader might make contact, but there's been only silence. My men grow restless. They want to know what comes next, and I do not have an answer. Lee alone remains active, pursuing leads, however slight. He stalks the city streets and scouts the bordering woods, hopeful that he might make contact with one of those we saved. There was a woman there that night. It was she who helped the others to safety. If we can find her, I believe I'll have my answers. So, I watch and wait, hopeful that my true mission might finally begin.
Indeed. $17.55. Alright. Not worried about grabbing that right now. Save that for later. And we'll also save this for next time. I don't believe we need to save it all. I believe the game just does autosave on everything, so yeah. Don't need to worry about that. Anyways, until next time, I appreciate you guys watching this. I do believe our next stream is going to be more Oblivion, and then we'll come back to this after that. So, I appreciate you. We'll catch you next time.